So, good morning. Can you hear me?
Yep.
Yes. So I've been very excited about this series, and thank you very much, Barbara, for coordinating it and bringing it to life. I think that uh, it's important to get beyond the big picture and understand individual participation in these events. It's not so much that they did extraordinary things within those events, but that was the life that they lived. And to understand what life was like, it's really fun to explore their own participation in those events. So my family, there were two branches that went to America in the 1600s, the Chauncey line and the Darnell line. And both of them came back to England. So my fifth great grandfather was back in England. He was studying in Edinburgh and he became a clergyman. But his cousins and his brother were still in America, and his brother, Francis Dana, played quite a role in events and was a friend of George Washington and things like that. So that's all been fascinating. But cousins were just ordinary soldiers, and I got to trace them, look at their um, pension applications and understand more of their background and so on. And I also had what you call loyalists, I think. So people fighting for the British. And I had a chap called Edward Mannering, and he was rewarded with land in Canada, which I found really interesting to research that. And then I had a fifth great grandfather who was captured by the Americans, was a prisoner of war. And learning about his experience was really interesting too. So he was, one of the things he did was he lost the colours, and the colours are still in the West Point Museum because in a military unit, to lose the colours is a really bad idea. You defend those colours, and that the colours of the flag, and you defend the flag because it's the gathering point and so on. But anyway, they lost the King's colour of the British 7th Regiment at Fort Chambly in Canada, and it was the first flag captured by the new American Army, and so it's now in West Point as a proud souvenir. He was a prisoner in Staten Island, New York, and probably not a very happy time, but uh, so on. So it's been fascinating to look at that event. I recently saw a snippet from the New York Times about why the British don't focus a lot on the American Revolutionary War. And part of the answer is because the French Revolution and the Napoleonic Wars took over, and that dominates our family history much more than thinking about what happened across the Atlantic and things like that. The War of 1812, which American cousins are quite excited about, doesn't sort of really feature at all. But last year, my father went to America and ended up in Baltimore and saw the original Stars and Stripes, and he said that was a really moving experience, and that was the War of 1812, and I hadn't realized that, and so on. So it's been really interesting to explore this this history and see how my family fitted into the big picture.